Hey guys, it's Sarah. If you are a returning subscriber, welcome back to my channel, and if you are new here, please hit that subscribe button and join our little Disney family. Today's video is going to show you guys how to make these Dollar Tree DIY Queen of Hearts ears. Everything on this is from Dollar Tree with the exception of the headband, and any of you who've been watching my channel for a while, you know that's because I hate Dollar Tree headbands. Plus you can get a pack of better ones for like an extra 50 cents and get 3 of them, so it's kind of a better deal anyway. If you haven't checked out my other ear tutorials, make sure you follow the playlist at the end of this video and you can see all the plethora of DIY Mickey ears that I can show you guys how to make. Also, if you haven't followed me on Instagram, please go do that. Sorry, that's my baby. I call her my dinosaur baby. If you haven't followed me on Instagram yet, please go do that at DreamItDIY. For announcements, updates, videos that have been posted, things like that. Without further ado, let's get into the tutorial.
So all of the supplies that I used, with the exception of the headband, are from Dollar Tree. So you're going to need a set of playing cards. Dollar Tree actually sells them in a 2-pack. A 1-inch headband, which again, I get mine from Walmart. White roses, red roses, floral wire, a jewel trim which you can find in the floral section, an Xacto knife, a hot glue gun, hot glue sticks, wire cutters, and scissors. So start out with your floral wire and you're going to need to wrap it around something that's about 4 inches in diameter. I chose to use this candle, and then you'll get the basic shape of your Mickey ear. I do like to double check the shape and placement using another set of ears, but if you don't have a set, that actually is totally fine. You just want to make sure that middle piece between the 2 ears is about 2.5 inches apart and that each ear looks symmetrical. I actually filmed this a while ago, and since then I have made a template for you guys that will help you form the wire ears. I'll have that linked in the description box below. It's basically a tracing of a set of Mickey ears so that if you don't have a pair at home, you can kind of use that as a guide. I will also link below the other wire ear tutorials that I've done so that you guys can check those out as well. But once you have your wire formed, go ahead and place it on the center of your ear and then apply some hot glue. Press down the center of the ear, and you're just going to go in and add a little bit more on each side. Once that first layer has dried, I go back in and I pretty much encase the wire in more hot glue just to make sure that it's really adhered well, and all of that ugliness is going to get covered up later on when we do the flower crown. So now I'm going to go ahead and glue down the side of the ear, and again, I kind of like to double check as I'm working with another set of ears just to make sure I'm keeping that spacing nice. But go ahead and lay down a generous amount of hot glue, press down the wire, and then again encase the entire wire in hot glue. By the way, this floral wire is actually from Dollar Tree, and it is so awesome. It's beautiful, it's brightly colored, and it bends really, really nicely and doesn't get kinks in it very easily. So now I'm just doing the other side of the ear, and again, lots of hot glue, press it down, let it dry, and then put another layer of hot glue on top. So now that the wire is all attached, the next step was figuring out how to do these cards. So I knew that I wanted to incorporate this super cute idea my husband actually had, which was to use my Xacto knife and cut out the King of Hearts head and then hot glue it like falling down the card, because you know, Queen of Hearts, off with your head. Sorry. But it wasn't hard, it's super easy. Obviously I have a super like nicked up craft table, so I just did it on the table, but obviously be careful with the surface. And then I did the same thing to the jack, and then I just wanted to show y'all, so I put something under the card. I just used the cardboard card box and that worked fine. But I did the same thing, I cut out his head too, and then I hot glued it like cascading down the card. Something I didn't realize with the king though was I was placing him in the middle, and so I had to peel his head off and re-glue it on the other side to make sure that you actually got to see it, because I wanted the Queen of Hearts to be in the center. So now I'm gluing the 3 cards together, and I'm making it almost like a crown, like with the queen sticking up in the middle a little bit more. And now this is the fun part. I turned over my cards and realized I accidentally grabbed the King of Hearts from the blue deck and not the red deck. So that was fun. So, or the jack, not the king. So I did have to recut his head out and do all that again. So once you have these 3 cards glued together and all situated, what you're going to want to do is take them to your headband, and this is the hardest part about making these ears. What you're going to need to do is lay them down on the table, and then you're going to actually need to open up the headband like it's on your head, because obviously headbands stretch once you place them on your head. I did not do this the first time, and then I had to go back and redo it. So make sure you widen the headband before you trace that line, because that line is not truly accurate if you just lay the headband on the table. I hope I'm making sense. But make sure you open up the headband, then trace the line along the card to where you want the cards to lay on the headband. I'm going to cut ahead to the cards that I had to redo. So this is actually the blue cards, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to remedy this. But add a thin line of hot glue to the bottom of the card, and then you're going to press mostly the queen card down into the headband. You're going to see some gaps where the king and the jack are, but that's just so that when you put that headband on, the cards don't shift awkwardly. So I went in with my hot glue gun and I added more hot glue under the jack and under the king to try to give them a little more support, but ultimately you are going to have some gaps because you need to. I'm so sorry that the flowers are already attached. I wanted to show you how I fixed it and then show you the next step. So after you've got the cards down, you can go in and add the flowers around the cards how you like them to look. The good thing about the flowers is I just figured out if you opened up the petals a little bit more, you could actually conceal those gaps that I was just talking about. So you can see me kind of pulling the petals down and adding just a dot of hot glue and concealing them. So then take that diamond trim that, again, Dollar Tree, everything in this video is from Dollar Tree, and you're going to do a thin line of hot glue at the bottom of the cards and add this down at the bottom. It really gives it a nice finish and makes it conceal any of the mess that may have formed. And then trim off whatever you don't need. Okay, so because I had to recut the bottom of the cards, I ended up going back and using those blue cards. So now I'm trying to figure out how to cover up the blue on the back. So what I decided to do was just to take the ace, the 2, and the 3. Honestly, specifically I chose these cards because those are the 3 cards that are painting the roses red in Alice in Wonderland. So I actually thought that that was kind of a cool touch. So I'm gluing these 3 together the same way that I did the other ones, and I'm going to glue these on the back so that technically these ears would be reversible, and then also it covers up the blue, which obviously the blue throws off like the whole aesthetic. Alright, so I'm just making sure that they all match up, and then I'm going to open up the headband like I talked about earlier and trace the card, trace on the card so that I know where to cut so that I can add these to the back. And then just cut off according to your line, and yay, they fit! So now I'm applying a little bit of hot glue on the middle card and pressing it down onto the headband. The good news about this is even if your cards seem like not as well attached as you want, once you add on that beading on the bottom, that kind of reinforces the cards being attached to the headband, so that will help. Okay, so now I'm going in with a thin line of hot glue and adding in that beading on the bottom. I keep calling this beading, it's like gem trim, and I found it in the floral section at Dollar Tree. And cut off the excess. Okay, so now I'm going in with a couple of leaves from the rose stem that I bought at Dollar Tree and just kind of gluing them onto the back of the flowers. The reason I did this originally is because I didn't want to really care if these were reversible, and I liked the idea of from the front you could actually see the leaves growing out of the back of the flowers, but you could also go in and just add in extra roses on the back if you wanted to do it that way instead. So now I'm just cleaning off the hot glue strings and checking how it looks on front and back. And then I went in with just a couple extra leaves and glued these on the sides of the roses, the 2 red roses that I have, to cover up the wire, because I didn't cut my wire as short as I probably should have. But I also just liked how it looked, so it all kind of worked out. And then this is what it looked like before the last step. So the only thing I regret about this project is using this paint. I was determined to use all things from Dollar Tree, and this is the only red paint that they had, and it was like a finger paint, and it's kind of a pinky color more than red. I would totally suggest to you guys just going to Walmart and picking up some acrylic paint, because their acrylic paints are 50 cents and they're actually cheaper than this at Dollar Tree, and they look nicer. So I don't know why I was being so stubborn with being like, no, it had to be from Dollar Tree, but I was. And this is what they looked like when they were all finished. Again, feel free to get better paint than what I used. Even I think red puffy paint would look really, really good. I hope you guys liked this tutorial, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!